Hello.
Hi, am I
Hi,
audible?
I'm good. So, hello everyone. My name is Julia Liu. I'm this section's host, and I'm also the program staff for COSCUP 2021. And welcome back to our afternoon section. And let's welcome Gajendra Deshpande. Sorry about my mispronunciation about your words, but
Right.
yes, let's cut into the case and going to introduce our this section. So the our topic is Python and FOSS in education for Generation Z. And Gajendra is also an international speaker in lots of different international conferences, such as Julia Khan, and also the Python Hong Kong, and also Python France. And in today's topic, he's going to talk about what's the issues about the technology education is going to face with Generation Z, such as what if not everybody can bring smartphones to the classroom to do the tech education, and also bring out a lot of programming tools such as Google Blackie and also the programming language Julia tool. Okay, without further ado, let's cut to the video. Thank you.
Hello everyone. My name is Gajendra Deshpande and today I will be presenting a talk on Python and FOSS in education for Generation Z. So in today's talk, I will be discussing about the Generation Z students, then bring your own device concept and education, advantages and disadvantages of BYOD uh, devices. Then we will discuss about QPython and Blockly and few resources for open source education and finally future goals. So let us first discuss who are Generation Z students. So these are the students who are born between 1995 and 2010. They are more tech savvy. They believe in hands-on learning. They learn best by doing or creating stuff. So teachers needs to be equipped with the technology. That is because most of the teachers they belong to previous generations. So in order to keep updated, they need to be update themselves with the latest technology. Then BYOD stands for bring your own device. So with BYOD, it is possible to create a one-to-one classroom. Students bring and use their choice of technological devices in the classroom. Now let us see a few advantages and disadvantages of BYOD. So the benefits of BYOD include your students know the device because it is their own device. Technology has many possibilities. So mobile devices are not just the mobile devices anyway now. So they can be used for several purposes, even for learning. Then cutting edge devices are used by the students. It's a cost effective way when you compare the cost of laptop with a smartphone. Uh, maybe a basic smartphone is also enough. So cost is comparatively less. Then learning outside the school hours is possible. Then respect for the device. Since it is their own device, they will use the device carefully, and it will also result into organized students. They can create their own groups and uh, start discussing about the concepts in the class. Then disadvantages of BYOD is that students without devices, it is possible not many maybe some students or few students may not be able to afford the devices. Then one more challenge is the different devices. Uh, we have huge number of students in a classroom, say 50 to 60. So each one of them may bring a device with a different configuration. So that may create a problem in connecting the student's device to teacher's device. Then distraction, students may use it for some other purposes, say for chatting during class hours. then it may also result into not responsible student. Many countries have already BYOD policies in place, such as Austria, USA, Estonia, Australia, Finland, Norway, Portugal, Switzerland, and UK, and so on. In India, there is a project by AICTE, that is All India Council for Technical Education. So they have a collaboration with Cisco DevNet, and the BYOD concept is used to increase the productivity in the classroom at schools. Now let us discuss some of the tools. So first one is QPython. So QPython is the Android app. It's open source. It's a script engine which runs Python programs on Android devices. It also can help developers develop Android applications. So you can develop easily the applications. So QPython includes a complete development kit which help you to develop programs with the mobile phone. Then it is very powerful. You can extend as you want. You can add your own features to it. Then great commercial support is also available, and API or QPython SDK is available, which can save your time. Now this is the screen which you get when you install it on your system. So there are basically two versions, QPython and QPython 3. You can go for QPython 3. I'm unable to connect this mobile phone to my system, so I'm just explaining with the help of a screenshot. So you can see here different options. One is terminal, second one is editor, then third one is explorer, and also QPyPy. So terminal is like your normal terminal where you can execute your small Python scripts. So it's just an interpreter here. Then editor is a place where you can type a program and save the program, and you can run it anytime you want. Then in Explorer, you will also get the option of Jupyter Notebook on QPython. Then it also supports number of packages such as SciPy, NumPy, Pandas, and so on. Those you can install and configure using QPyPy. So now you can see here the screen, that is the terminal screen. So I can directly start typing the program here. So I have written str is equal to hello QPython, and in the next line I'm saying str star 3. So what it is going to do now is it is going to print hello QPython 3 times. Now you can also use some programs like Hacker's Keyboard to enhance the typing experience. And as I have told you, it also supports Jupyter notebooks, right? So you can start typing the program in the notebook. You can also import the notebook and you can start running the code on QPython. So this is about QPython, but if you want to run other programming languages, then there are some emulators you will get such as Termux, right? So the spelling is Termux. So you can install it and it allows you to install even the full-fledged operating system like Ubuntu, and on top of it you can install whatever package or whatever language you want to install. You can install and run those programs on your system. Say for example Julia. So if you want to run Julia on Android phone, it's possible with the help of Termux. The next tool which we will discuss is Google Blockly. So Blockly is a library for building visual programming editors. So Blockly is a library that adds a visual code editor to web and mobile apps. So the Blockly editor uses interlocking graphical blocks to represent code concepts like variables, logical expressions, loops, and more. It allows users to apply programming principles without having to worry about syntax or the intimidation of a blinking cursor on the command line. From a user's perspective, Blockly is an intuitive visual way to build code. From a developer's perspective, Blockly is a ready-made UI for creating a visual language that emits syntactically correct user-generated code. Blockly can export blocks to many programming languages, including the popular options: JavaScript, Python, PHP, Lua, and Dart. Of course, there are some versions of Blockly which will allow you to create IoT programs also. Blockly is one of the growing number of visual programming environments. So deciding which one to use in your app is an important step. So here are a few of the Blockly's biggest strengths to help you make the decision. So first one is exportable code. So users can extract their block-based programs to common programming languages and smoothly transition to text-based programming. It's open source. Everything about Blockly is open. You can fork it, hack it, and use it in your own sites and Android apps. Extensible, tweak Blockly to fit your needs by adding custom blocks for your API or removing unneeded blocks or functionality. Even if you want, you can change the language of the user interface. It's highly capable. Blockly is not a toy. You can implement the complex programming tasks like calculating standard deviation in a single block. It is international. Blockly has been translated to 40 plus languages, including right to left versions for Arabic and Hebrew. So this is the user interface you will get when you open Blockly. You can see here that on the left hand side we have got several options. Then in the middle section you can drag and drop the blocks, and on the right hand side it can generate the source code. So let's see the demo of it. Yeah. So let me reload the page again. Yeah. So you can see here that already some blocks have been dragged and dropped on the screen. And on the right hand side, you can see here the code is generated. So at present, the code is in JavaScript. So you can select the language. Now, if I select Python, it will give me the Python code. Now, similarly, if I select the PHP, then it will it will generate PHP code. Then similarly, Lua and Dart code. Okay. So you can, let's say if you select Python and you can click on this run button. Python is not running. Let me select JavaScript. Okay. Okay, fine. So it will run the code here and it will show the output here. So if you click on these different options, you can see here for logic, you have got different options. Say for example, conditional statements, assignment statements, logical statements, right? Then similarly for loops, right, we have got again different structures. You just need to drag and drop. Whenever you drag and drop a block here, automatically it will generate the source code for it. And similarly for math, you have got some options here. Then similarly for text, then for lists, colors, then variables, right? Then functions. So for everything, you have got some blocks. You just need to drag and drop the block and set the appropriate value, arrange the appropriate blocks in a sequence, and you can run the program. So this was about Blockly. So what it does is it allows users to use visual blocks to construct the program. But there are some other tools uh, such as Flowgorithm, which is not open source. I didn't find the source code, but it allows you to customize the software. Okay, if say for example, if say Julia is not supported by Flowgorithm, but if you want, you can add a support of Julia. Okay, so template files are open source on their site. You can just download the template files and modify the grammar there, and you can directly use the template file to generate the source code in Julia language. It's possible. So next is, let's see some resources which are open source and which are useful in education. So first one is Open Source Society University. So they have some open curriculum. So we'll see what it is and how it works. Then we also have one project that is professional development for instructors interested in student participation in humanitarian free and open source software. And finally, the Wiki Educator. So let's see these projects one by one. So for example, Open Source Society University. So the GitHub link is provided here. You can just visit this link and you will find the curriculum here. You will find the open curriculum for computer science. Then you will find it for data science, bioinformatics, and also computer science Chinese. So it's a very wonderful resource. Say for example, if I visit computer science here, okay, so you can see here that the entire curriculum has been defined. So even if you are pursuing a degree, even if you're pursuing a graduation in computer science or even data science, you can just follow these resources in order. You can follow the instructions and you can become more competent. So you can see here that the content has been divided into 4 parts, that is introduction to CS, then core computer science, then advanced computer science, and finally the project. So they have defined all the subjects also here, all the courses also here. So you can just pursue these courses one by one. Most of them are free resources, but some are paid courses here. But many of them are free courses. But the curriculum is open. Anybody can just follow it to become a better computer science engineer or data science engineer. Right? These specialization courses are not free, I guess. Okay. And even those who are interested in bioinformatics, they can just follow this open source curriculum. Then next, okay, next is FOSS, that is professional development for instructors interested in student participation in humanitarian free and open source software. So you can visit this link, that is foss2serve.org. So it's basically a workshop which is conducted on a regular basis. It's an outreach effort by Red Hat. Now the goal was to help instructors learn about free and open source software so that they can incorporate FOSS into their courses. So they have included the content here, and also you can see here the HPOS faculty development model, so which has got the different components such as academic monitoring. In academic monitoring, you have FOSS mentoring and community participation. Then you have FOSS FTF training. Then academic FTF training where pedagogy techniques are discussed, and also how you can be productive in classroom is discussed. Then you have also got academic pre-workshop. Then you have got first pre-workshop. And they have also defined guidelines. You will also find the links for previous pauses. But if you visit their website, you will also see the upcoming pause workshop details. The next one is the Wiki Educator. So Wiki Educator is a evolving community intended for collaborative planning of education projects linked with the development of free content, then development of free content on Week Educator for e-learning, then work on open education resources on how to create open education resources, then networking on funding proposals developed as a free content. So this is also very good website. You can visit this, and there is also get involved link. Okay, so you can become a wiki ambassador, you can become part of the community here, you can contribute a new content. It's possible. So get involved link is very important whenever you visit any open source project, even on maybe Python project. If you visit Python website, you will find a link there. Get involved, and there are various ways you can contribute. You can become a volunteer, you can become a core Python developer, right? So be it any open source project, you just need to find this get involved link and you can start contributing. One more way to contribute to open source is visit the GitHub repositories, and there you will find the maintainers details or contributors details, right? So just try to contact the maintainers if you are interested in that project, and they will be happy to help you. Then finally, the future goals is to create more open curriculum, right? So we have seen that open curriculum is only with respect to computer science and its branches, but we can create curriculum for any domain, then customize Blockly for more languages. So we have seen that it supports only few languages. You can also modify to support more languages such as Julia, Go, Rust, and so on. Then code visualization tools are also required. There are some code visualization tools. There are some Python packages which will also help you to perform code visualization. Then more gamified tools are required to enhance the learning. So actually Moodle has a lot of modules such as for completing activity, they award some reward points, right? They award some badges. It's possible there. So you can use those libraries and open source packages to enhance the learning. But of course, more gamified tools are required to enhance the learning. Thank you everyone for attending my talk.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for Ganjandra's speech. So I would like to, before getting into QA, I saw a few questions here, and I would like to know a little bit more about you, background, like how did you get into the cyber law? Did you learn few programming languages first, and how does that intersect with the like cyber law specifically?
Yeah, actually, my background is tech. I am computer science postgraduate, but law has always interested me because of my family background also. So I thought there is something which can integrate my interest and my background. So I joined cyber law program at NLS, that is National Law School of India University. It's India's number one university, and of course, I think foreign nationals can also join that course. It's a one-year postgraduate program, and also it has got several other distance education programs.
Okay, and I see my question connects to the next question that is about what cyber law should be implement already, but not yet in place that you see is out there should be already uh, be practiced or known, public know? Are there
Yeah.
anything
Mm.
you would, is your
Mm.
major concern so far?
Yeah, my belief is that everyone should have a knowledge about law, because law says that you cannot say that you don't know the law. You cannot be ignorant of the law. That is not acceptable by the court. So anyway, having the knowledge of law helps. And with respect to cyber laws, of course, with respect to India, there are some acts like Information Technology Acts have been framed, but uh, it is not sufficient whenever some crime happens. So the laws which are already in place, even they will be used, such as say for example, Evidence Act. Okay, that is required, and some acts related to maybe smuggling. So even those will be applied. So it's not just the laws related to internet. And if we think of future, then most of us, we are talking about artificial intelligence. uh, I have made a survey and found that not many countries have laws in place to regulate artificial intelligence. So that's the thing which needs to be done on priority to regulate AI. Of course, there are some laws related to self-driving cars, but not exactly for AI.
Okay, so I
All,
want to know, I know GDPR is very prominent in more like European countries and also North America, and not so much here in Taiwan. How's that play out in India? I would like to know in that region, like how does people react to the GDPR that is already out there for years?
yeah, GDPR like laws are, I think they are not there in India, but they are in the process of framing it.
Okay, so same
But
like
when we are
Taiwan,
dealing,
nobody talk
when
about it.
yeah, I have no idea about Taiwan. Uh, but when we are dealing with European countries, I think we need to comply with GDPR, even though we are not staying there in Europe, because we are dealing with European companies, and that may affect European citizens. So we need to comply to GDPR, I guess. And in many web applications nowadays, I see, for example, WordPress themes, they are GDPR ready.
Okay, so some people are doing it, are
Yeah.
working on it. Okay, let's get to the last question. What's the differences between the open source education curriculum you introduced and the mainstream open source ware?
Please repeat the question. I didn't get.
Okay, what's the differences between the open source education curriculum you introduced and the mainstream open source, I think, software? She meant?
Okay. Okay. So I think open source curriculum and open source software, they share this similar philosophy. Uh, but open source software, it's more focused towards software development, whereas open curriculum or open source curriculum is more towards education. But what I feel or what I know is that there is no recognition yet from the government or the authorities for open source curriculum, but we can use, or students can use that curriculum as a guideline to enhance their knowledge, because I think it's a community contributed curriculum, so it matches the needs of industry more than the existing university curriculum.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
guess it's about time as well. Thank you so much for your time. I hope to see you next year at COSCUP as well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right. So much for your participation. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. What's the next time? I think it's probably anyway, the program will announce. Thank you so much, everybody.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.